Good morning. Donald Trump is endorsing Bitcoin. We've made new all-time highs, blasting through $72,000. The White House, they're forecasting $250,000 per Bitcoin. Saylor has just bought another $800 million in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is just getting started. Diving straight into Trump. It's 3 minutes, well worth the listen. Let's get it.
Well, it's taken its own life. I do little things sometimes for fun and, make money with it, but I have fun with it too.
You mean
NFTs.
You bought Bitcoin?
No, but I sometimes will let people pay through Bitcoin, or will let people get involved in a new, if you think of it, it's an additional form of currency. And I used to say, I want one currency. I want the dollar. I don't want people leaving the dollar, and I feel that way. But I will tell you, it has taken on a life. I did a thing that people smile at, but it.
He goes into S-Coins there and his rubbish NFT project, but Bitcoin has taken on a life of its own. The 45th president of the US, the United States of America. Absolutely incredible. This guy, and we'll dive into an article. Let me bring it straight up. We need to remember he hasn't always been for Bitcoin. He has sounded a little bit more constructive on Bitcoin, but 3 years ago, the ex-president labeled Bitcoin as a scam. You can't change Bitcoin, but Bitcoin changes you, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty exciting times to be able to see. Let us know what your thoughts are. Shout out to everyone watching live or watching the replay. If you can smash the like button. So former US President Donald Trump continued to come around on Bitcoin, call it an additional form of currency in a CNBC appearance. Amazing how quick the tides can shift. Trump's comments this morning follow remarks he made last month when he said Bitcoin has taken a life of its own and that it will probably need regulation. Trump added that he would not allow countries to go off the dollar because when the US loses that standard, it will be like losing a revolutionary war. Obviously, everyone here in Bitcoin knows all fiat currencies are going to zero. They're failing. You can either jump onto the Bitcoin life raft, or you can go down with the ship. That's up to you. It's your money, your choice. But it is like losing a revolutionary war. And all fiat currencies will, not just the US dollar, but we are seeing this play out in real time here. So the White House, breaking Biden's 2025 budget is very bullish in Bitcoin. The White House expects 250K by 2035. It is very, very, very possible we see 250K well before 2035. The possibility is there for 2025, this bull run, this cycle while we are here, but they are counting it for their tax revenues. Absolutely incredible. They're looking into Bitcoin mining as well. Biden expects the Bitcoin mining industry to 10x in the US over the next decade. This would imply $6 million price target for Bitcoin if the mining industry 10x'd. Even more bullish than the wash trade and line item. American dynamism, and energy abundance will make this possible. I just saw a report that in the States over there, for a lot of the viewers there, you've just found the world's largest reserves of lithium. We'll see if that leads into it. Australia's talking about nuclear. There's a funny little conversation that I saw. I've got a video to bring up of Saylor shortly. He's just bought another $800 million worth of Bitcoin. So tune in for that. Stay tuned for that. But MicroStrategy has acquired an additional 12,000 Bitcoin for $68,447 per Bitcoin. MicroStrategy now holds 205,000 Bitcoin. Wow, they are closing in on the 210,000 Bitcoin, getting to 1% of the supply. Wonder how much more, probably $1.2 billion would be my guess for them to get to that 210,000. Anyway, average price of $33,700 per Bitcoin. Got a video to bring up very, very shortly. I just want a big shout out to today's sponsor, the Bitcoin Way. If you need help mastering Bitcoin self-custody, you can reach out to the Bitcoin Way. These guys, 25 years cybersecurity experience. Safe Duna Moose, the author of The Bitcoin Standard, which is a fantastic book. Read the books, read the bugs. No, I'm kidding. I'm playing. It's probably what's going to happen to a lot of people. He endorses them. He also recommends them. Natalie Brunel recommends them, as well as Simply Bitcoin. If you need help setting up a node, taking your Bitcoin into self-custody, need help with collaborative custody or inheritance planning, made it super easy. There is a link at the top of the description. First 30 minutes is free. Reach out, say g'day if you need some help. They're super great team. Michael Saylor, what a Chad, hey? What an absolute amazing guy. I've listened to this video twice this morning. It's that good. The conviction, the kahunas on this man. $800 million raised, deployed. Let's
Bitcoin crossing the $70,000 mark for the first time on Friday. This morning, it's now above $72,000. Joining us right now to talk Bitcoin is Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy Executive Chairman, and 8K out from the company this morning, revealing it just bought more than $800 million in Bitcoin.
Let's go.
As of the end of last month, his company held about 200,000 Bitcoins. And Michael, I want to thank you for joining us. You have been early and courageous, and you continue to double down. I want to talk about where you think Bitcoin is, but also want to talk about how you think about MicroStrategy and your company as a proxy for Bitcoin now that ETFs are available to the public.
Sure. Well, I think I'd start just with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is certainly at least digital gold. It's going to eat gold. It's got all of the great attributes of gold, and it's got none of the defects of gold. If you could teleport gold from New York to Tokyo in a few minutes, people would like it. It's going to divert capital from risk assets and risk ETFs like SPY, and you can see that these ETFs are doing that. It's going to be incorporated into a lot of funds like the BlackRock Global Opportunities Fund or the Strategic Income Opportunities Fund. And so as it's an asset class. As it goes into other funds, it's going to become structural. The halving is going to cut the organic.
Hear that? Did you get that? As Bitcoin goes into other asset classes, it's going to become structural. Too big to fail. Bitcoin's already too big to fail. $0 or $1 million. We're not going to $0, ladies and gentlemen. We'll let Michael Saylor finish his stream of consciousness.
Supply of natural sellers in half around April 20th. That means there's only about $32 million a day of natural sellers. And the price of Bitcoin is going to have to adjust up in order to meet that investor demand. So I think that's what's going to happen next to the asset class.
Bitcoin.
It's going to have to adjust up. We're already sitting at $72,485, 3.89%. We have gone up in the past 24 hours. Bitcoin is absolutely unstoppable. It's been endorsed by Trump, almost, sort of, kind of, not really, but a little bit. He's changing his tune slowly. We've got a article in the Financial Times, a change in their tune. As we said at the start, you cannot change Bitcoin, but Bitcoin changes you. Now, Eric Bellahanis, first 2 months officially in the books, it felt like 6. And the 10 Bitcoin ETFs now have over $55 billion in assets, with exactly double that in volume at $110 billion. If these were the numbers at the end of the year, I'd call them a success. To do it in 8 weeks is simply absurd. That's Bitcoin TikTok. Next block, jumping over to the time chain calendar. We are at block height 834,257. It's making these blocks at the moment every 9 minutes and 25 seconds. I believe over Bitcoin's history, 9 minutes and 36 seconds. Please fact check me there in the comments, but it's under 10 minutes, the average block time. At the moment, it's pretty much on the average, if my memory serves me correctly. Next, difficulty adjustment up 6.19%. More miners are coming on. Estimated March 14. And we are seeing the last block reward. They've gone down so much. A lot of those monkey picks have stopped all the nonsense on the Bitcoin time chain on the blockchain. Last block reward, 6.5234. That's the subsidy and fees. The fees only made up 4.19% at 0.27. Bitcoin, 5:45 local time here, and 72,229. This number, oh my God, it's a catastrophe, ladies and gentlemen. 1,384 sats per USD. The good news about that, for every $10, you still get 13,840 Satoshis. Stack it, pack it, make sure that sack is full. Bitcoin is going up and to the right forever. Obviously, not financial advice, ladies and gentlemen, but please read the books. Bitcoin Evangelism, it's a fantastic one. That's at the top of the description. Praxology by Knut Van Home. That's a fantastic book. Another fantastic book. Bitcoin, Everything Divided by 21 Million. Principles of Economics. The books go on and on. There's more. You get the point. Read the books, read the bugs. Enjoy. Bitcoin's absolutely fascinating. What we've seen over the last 24 hours, and I'll just hit refresh here, 72,214. We've come down such a tiny little bit, but we had a high of 72,704. That's actually incorrect. This morning I saw it at 72,800. However, that was 25 minutes ago. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin is just making fiat gains, but what are you going to sell into? Nothing. That dirty old fiat. Shout out to everyone that is in the chat. We've still got a few more things to get through. I just want to shout out to Rahul, Gargoyle, Do Something, Do Anything, Gargoyle, Orange Pill Dispenser. I always just think OPD in my head. Chris Bridge, Not Going to Zero, Gargoyle, Bobby, Mike D, Tony Lowe in the house, Average Geo, good to see you this morning. Johnny Midas, good to see everyone. Ant BTC, JGI, G Squared, Darren. Hopefully I've not missed everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Now we've got a few more things to cover. So we've had in the last 24 hours, ladies and gentlemen, $67,785 with a high of 72,704, which happened 25 minutes ago. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine that, $67, and you'll be at it pretty much at this price. Actually, that would have been about $100 AUD, $94, I believe, is when I heard about it. Didn't buy it, bought it later, wasted that on a website that's infamous, and took me a few years to come back to it, but it's never too late. Bitcoin's market cap, we'll jump into that shortly. It's just flipped silver. We can see that here. Bitcoin is above silver now. The market cap, $1.422 trillion. Silver, a measly 1.385. We're going to jump into what price targets it needs to hit to climb up these ranks here. Absolutely fascinating. But Bitcoin is coming for gold, as Michael Saylor was stating in that video there. So Bitcoin has flipped silver to overtake. Shout out to Mr. Jamie there over on X. To overtake the rest, Bitcoin needs to hit the following targets. Alphabet, which is Google, the price of Bitcoin would need to be approximately 88K. Maybe we even get that before the halving. Amazon, 95,000. Pretty likely this cycle, not financial advice, just my opinion. Saudi Aramco, I'll start with my predictions. Probably a little bit more bullish than both. But anyway, 108,000 Nvidia, 115,000 Apple, 138,000 Microsoft, 150,000 gold, 772,000. Maybe we don't surpass gold this cycle. Maybe the cycle goes on forever and we don't get a bull market. I don't see that happening. Of course, we're going to have corrections. We are going to get... The red button's going to come back, ladies and gentlemen. The red button's going to come back with such a vengeance. We're going to get these $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 days where we wake up and it's in the red, and that's where you need to be like, oh, yeah, and then you get really excited. You push the red button, you get more Satoshis. Hopefully it's more Satoshis than 1,300 per USD. Just on that note, by pushing the red button, the $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 down days, you get the reward and the benefit for putting in the proof of work for the $10,000, the $20,000, the $30,000 up days. It's a win-win, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Van Eck, the fee war just continues to roll on. It's amazing. It's insane. It's incredible. Bitwise started it, undercutting the market, and then since then it's been a race 2-0 with Bitcoin fees, and literally they've hit zero. Van Eck is removing the fees on a spot Bitcoin ETF until March 31st, 2025. What Let's go. That is incredible. What marketing that is going to provide. Are we going to see this from everyone else as well? Or are they just going to stick to their guns and they're going to approach their marketing in a more nuanced way and show their differences, the subtle differences between each one? So Willy Woo's really interesting. So I came out with the stock to flow market. Haven't heard much from Willy Woo in quite a while, but Bitcoin at 71K puts us here in visual. I'll show you this chart in a second. In the visual of the upper and lower bound models, upper bound right now is 337K. So this bull market is still early, equivalent to 20K last cycle. Last cycle didn't hit the upper bound due to the flood of paper Bitcoin. This is less dominant this time. This is where we are. This, can I zoom in a little bit for you? I don't know if that's any better, ladies and gentlemen. Lower bound, we're about 1/3 of the way up there. All models, they work until they don't, and they're broke, and then all you need to do is buy, stack, and chill, ladies and gentlemen. That's as hard as Bitcoin needs to be. Stay for the gains, or come for the gains, stay for the revolution. And this is what's happening all around the world. Everyone is changing their tune. It's amazing. We won. We won, ladies and gentlemen. Well done. I keep saying it. I'll continue to say it. If you've been here for a while, well done. You're putting the proof of work. How hard has it been every time Bitcoin dips to push that red button when everyone else is calling you crazy or a degenerate gambler? You're wasting all that money. You could buy something else. You could buy a house, that fiat Ponzi scheme that is property here in Australia. You're like, no, I'm just going to keep pushing the red button. I'm going to keep buying Bitcoin. If you've made it this far, well done, ladies and gentlemen. You deserve all that credit. It's been an incredible journey. It's been so fun with everyone here. If you're new to Bitcoin, if you're the class of 2024, welcome. Hold on. It's remarkable. It's insane. It's not a bubble. It is extremely unusual for a bubble to burst and then recover to reach new heights so quickly and suggest that something real and sustainable is going on. This is not a bubble. This is not an adoption curve. This is an adoption curve, and this is an adoption curve. We are coming for gold, and that's not even the end goal. $700,000, it's not the end goal, ladies and gentlemen. $1 million is not the end goal. Bitcoin will be that pristine form of collateral. It may take 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 years. Who cares? That's the trajectory. This is a fight of good and evil. Bitcoin has won, and Bitcoiners have won. Robert Kiyosaki is putting out more warnings. Baby boomer bust. Tragically, biggest bubble in history will wipe out baby boomers because boomers are the first generation with flimsy 401ks. Stock market's hit to crash. Time to get real is now. Buy real estate, gold, silver, Bitcoin before the biggest bubble in history goes bust. It's not if, ladies and gentlemen, it's when. And we don't know when. Will it happen in 2024? Potentially not. With the biggest elections on the world stage happening, I think there's like 3 or 4 billion people voting this year. Never in human history have so many people all around the world voted at one time. The year of chaos, money printing, interest rates down to zero, Bitcoin pumping, the Harv and BlackRock coming in, buying 10,000 Bitcoin per day or more Michael Saylors coming in, people waking up to that playbook. It's going to be a great year for those that are prepared. For those that are not, it's a sad place to be. Now, if you can see it here, it's real tiny, but $1.420 trillion for the market cap. It still looks like we're around the 72,200 level, 72,030 there. It's nice. It's taking a little bit of a breather, and it pulls back a tiny bit, 0.05% in the last hour, and you're like, cool. Hang around here for a while. You can stop going up Bitcoin. Somebody just talk to Satoshi, sort it out, because Bitcoin's fundamentally broken. It just keeps going up and to the right forever. Whereas like fiat currency, that beautiful fiat currency, I didn't bring it down. Anyway, I've got some notes to rip up. That dirty fiat currency and purchasing power, it just goes down forever. It's incredible. Like, I don't know why Bitcoin's not working like that. If fiat currency is what they want to call money, And Bitcoin, we're calling hard money, and Bitcoin's going up and fiat currency's going down. Like, something's fundamentally wrong. Bitcoin must be broken. So if someone can sort out Satoshi, get him on the phone and get this fixed. I'm kidding. Eric Kaysen, absolutely fantastic book, Crypto Sovereignty. Over the weekend, started reading it. I think I was talking about it yesterday. And read 45%, and I was so excited, so elated. I had to put it down because my wife thought it was way too elevated and I needed to unplug from the matrix. What a rabbit hole. This guy, Eric Kaysen, will be at Bitcoin Alive. If you're here in Australia and you are going, we'll be giving a talk. Read the book before you see the talk. Absolutely insane. Bitcoin has won. Those who choose to lay down their financial arms and capitulate now still have the opportunity to not get wrecked and keep some of their wealth intact. Everyone and everything else will be devastated. You have been warned. The whole book's like that, but there's hope. It's so insane, so intense. I don't know if the guy's a madman or a genius or a little bit of both. I think all geniuses are very mad during their time, and it's only in hindsight that we see that they were so ahead of the curve. Epic book. Anyway, furious customers. This is happening here in Australia, are closing accounts after an Aussie bank shuts all branches. How dare they? They say. Bankwest said very few customers actually use the remaining branches in the country. So in a bid to become a digital-only bank, why do we need a digital-only bank? I've got a Swiss bank account, which is Bitcoin, in my pocket. Barack Obama absolutely loves the Swiss bank accounts. What amazing marketing. Anyway, everything is going digital. But I understand certain cohorts of the population are going to find this extremely difficult, extremely hard. So I understand the outrage, but you can't stop a digital age from happening. However, it's good to see a bit of pushback from the Aussie battlers out there, and a bit to become digital-only bank recently revealed 45 locations would close their doors by October, and a further 15 would be rebranded under the Commie Bank banner. This will leave no physical Bankwest branches in the country. Commonwealth, Australia's biggest bank, absolutely suck this. Commonwealth is the same bank that is putting $10,000 per month restrictions on people's Bitcoins. The smaller banks are moving over to the bigger banks. You saw over in the States as well. They just get so concentrated and these big banks become too big to fail. Well, history looks like it's repeating this side of the world. Lynn, Poor dear Lynn. I actually feel for this lady. We'll be closing all of her accounts with Bankwest after 3 decades of loyalty. She told Yahoo she felt the move was disrespectful. It's just business, man. But to many more vulnerable customers who would find it difficult to adapt to online banking. I agree with that one. How dare they limit our access to own cash money and their services, which should be widely available to us. Everybody's waking up to the fact that the banks are just a source or a system of economic control. How dare they do that? Obviously, we can opt out. We have Bitcoin. We have that truth. Money. It's buy, stack, and chill, ladies and gentlemen. Read the books or eat the bugs. Trump, Saylor, the White House even, like, that's insane. Let me bring that back up. I thought that was absolutely fascinating. It keeps going on. There's quite a lot of this floating around. Bitcoin's not going anywhere. And for them to publish this, obviously the White House is not pro-Bitcoin, at least not explicitly vocal about it. But to be factoring it in there for expected tax revenue, wowie. TikTok next block, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin is coming for everything it's eating the world. So jumping over into the comments there, we can see Orange Pill dispenser, true to his name. Happy as Larry, 100K by Friday. Let's go. At this rate, and I'm not saying it's going to happen. It's just possible. At this rate, anything could happen. We could wake up and it could be 100K. I don't see 100K by the end of the week. But who knows? Bitcoin does its own thing. It's going to continue to keep going up over a long enough period of time and even in a short period of time. 100K by the halving. I did not expect that in the slightest, but more and more likely. Gargoyle is shouting out the GOAT Saylor. Morning from Swiss. G'day, Bobby there. Saylor explains Bitcoin dominance so well, I'd look like a fool doing the same. Saylor is just such an incredible, articulate, amazing, concise speaker in regards to Bitcoin. If you are tuning in to the replay or live, if you can smash the like button, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. We'll get news with the fast facts, bit of a banter at the end. So Chris Bridges not going to zero. Definitely agree with that. There's no way Bitcoin's going to zero. Just for the fact that we're here, we'll buy it at any price. So yes, they call us Bitcoiners psychopaths and we don't care for anyone. I think we care for everyone, humanity as a whole. You can't change Bitcoin, but Bitcoin changes you. It makes you a more generous, caring, thoughtful, well-rounded, grounded individual. Do something, do anything, hit the like button already. TikTok, next block, that's by Gargoyle. Rahul, you still use the handsome... Thanks, brother. Cheers, Rahul. Houston, we have liftoff. G'day, Sean and Chad, Elaine in the house. 100K, imminent, slowly then suddenly. We're just going to wake up next day, like here in Australia, we've hit 100K. And while I prefer the price to stay lower, the Satoshis per USD to stay higher, hitting $100,000 in your local currency, and especially when we hit in the USD, it's a pretty surreal feeling. Like it's a really crazy feeling, actually. It's a form of validation that allows you just to know that with all the doubters, with all the haters, with all the pressure from friends, family, whoever it is, colleagues, the random person you tried orange peel that put you down and you hit 100K and you're like, cool. All right, let's get back to work and start stacking sats and chilling, but it's coming, it's imminent. Gold, we're coming for you. Red days are good days. Tony, 100% agree. Everyone buy grey scale. Your money, your choice. When in doubt, zoom out. Let Grayscale dump. Let him just dump the whole market. Let's take Bitcoin back to 30,000. We know it can go to 100K, back to 30K. Let's back the truck up, and then it can shoot to $1 million. I don't see that happening, but wouldn't it be good? Well, the Don Andy Surfer in the house. Sigma, happy days. Stack and chill. Technically, he was 46th, not the 45th. There we go. NXS filter is freaking hilarious. Hope it doesn't take 50 years. Be 106. Bitcoin's happening extremely well. The reason I say such large numbers, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, 100 years into the future, is because it will happen. All we need to do is buy, stack, and chill in the meantime and just let it happen and not care so much about the daily fluctuations. Because a lot of you there are going to have, just in a small move, it's going to be like when you're working at a normal job. The price of and fiat of your Bitcoin holdings will move like a salary or a house in a day. And if you start seeing that and get attached to that price movement, you may do something emotional, sell at the wrong time, buy at the wrong time. You can't really buy at the wrong time, but sell at the wrong time, and then Bitcoin pumps higher. If you're looking really far out, you're like, cool, I know where Bitcoin's going, 1 million, 10 million. Don't need to do anything for the next 5, 10 years. I'm just going to buy a stack and chill. The longer you can hold this for, ladies and gentlemen, the less regrets you're going to have going into the future. Bitcoin Prince and Greek in the house. My wife says Bitcoin is a pyramid scheme. I did consider seriously divorcing her at that moment. She later apologized. Oh, Tony, brutal. And VPTC, Tony from the Bitcoin Way is in the house. Tony Love there. How'd you end up changing that conversation, that dynamic? Because had similar conversations, not that I divorced her, I love my wife dearly, but with the pyramid scheme, and we're past that now. And it's just heaps of little clips that I gave her. But was it a book that you gave her? You just sit down, have a serious conversation? Or does she still think it's a pyramid scheme? I'd love to know. Now, everyone that doesn't understand Bitcoin calls it a scam, absolutely. And I guess that's why Bitcoiners get on so well with each other. You know, people have put in the proof of work. They've gone down, they've jumped in the rabbit hole. They've probably got a solid, fair foundation to who they are as a human being, who they want to be in the world. It's better to work with Bitcoiners, talk to Bitcoiners, meet Bitcoiners, because, I don't know, normies are crazy. They're whack. Wait, she apologized. That's a keeper. Darth, it's that natural reaction of those who kissed out. It's, yeah, in Australia, we call it tall poppy syndrome as well, where you do something good, you achieve remarkable success, and people just want to chop you down. And it's a shame. Yeah, when we're over in the States on multiple occasions, and as an outsider stepping into your beautiful country, there, everyone seems to lift each other up, celebrate everyone else's success. There's like a real drive, a real hunger. In Australia, if you do something good, people do not like it. They feel inferior, which is whack. Because if you want something, it's better to put positive energy into it. Where energy flows, the mind goes. Make that your reality. Doesn't happen in Australia, and we see a lot of it. And you get those dirty looks. You're like, fuck, I've been telling you about Bitcoin for like the last 4 years. That's on you for not listening. Don't put that back on me. Anyway, get a lot. Robbie P, let's go. Missed out. Average Geo. Eric Kaysen is quite the anarchist. I love listening to him talk. Very smart guy. So radical. 100% anarchist. Absolutely incredible book. Rest in peace, banks. OPD. Everyone is putting the banks to sleep. Look out for lots of bank runs in 2024. Do you reckon we're going to get bank runs in 2024, ladies and gentlemen? Like actually, with the elections coming up? Or maybe a staged bank run happens before the elections come up. I 100% believe more banks are going to fail. Like, that's a certainty. But are they going to let it in an election year? I just don't know if that would be a wise move. I think they'll shore it up, drop interest rates. Maybe they need a bank to fail so that they can just drop interest rates to zero and then fire up the money printer. Maybe they need that as an excuse. But I don't know if I see them allowing bank runs during this year. I'd love to know your thoughts. I reckon they'll just interest rates to zero, just fire up the money printer, and then let everything fall apart next year under new leadership. Darius in the house. Good morning. Wow, man, I can't even say that. Monday evening, Sean. It's amazing. It's pretty trippy when we're on other sides of the world. Now, VIP bartender Las Vegas says, good morning. Validation is nice, but it's just starting. Yeah, fair. Fair. Doubt is the mind killer. My town got 11 banks, 8 of them closed. Well, it's going to say a lot. We have 3 here, but I don't live in a very big town, so I guess that's fair and it's adequate, and there's a very little reason for me to go into banks every time. It's always a laugh. What do you want this cash for? It's freaking my money. I don't need to tell you. Yes, you need to tell you. I'm going to go party. And they're like, look at me. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go party hard. They're like, you need this much cash. I'm like, yeah, we're just going down for the weekend. Just talk absolute nonsense. They look at you. I'm like, yeah, you can write that down. I'm going to go blow it at the casino. They give it to you. You say, I'm going to buy some Bitcoin. They're like, no, we can't let you. Like, it's my money, but it's not. You lend it to them and they have control. Everyone who has Bitcoin is in profit today. It's incredible. Anyone at any time that's bought Bitcoin, apart from the top of 72,700, 72,800, is in profit. Out of the whole history of Bitcoin, that's a celebration. This is why it's just a low time preference kind of thing. You buy, you stack, and you chill. And it's freaking gravy, baby. Everyone is in profit. Mike D. Las Vegas says, good morning. Let's go. Bitcoin wants to see 100K this week. Yes, like I'm bullish. I'm optimistic. I'm so for Bitcoin hitting 100K. I know it's inevitable, but this week, ladies and gentlemen, like truly, I don't know. For me to say that would be so irresponsible. I see it as a possibility, probability. Nah. But before the halving, now, Adam back has been calling it over and over and over and over again. Max Kaiser, 220K in play. US government by 2035, $250,000 in play. I don't know. Like, whenever it happens, it's going to happen this week. I don't know. Number goes up, gets everyone super pumped up. It's 6:09 a.m. I would have divorced mine if she was sassing my stack in. Suddenly, then abruptly, Jacob Hauer, US $10. Brother, thank you so much. Truly appreciate it. I will be putting that towards my mate's animal sanctuary. So thank you very much. You've done a good deed and will allow me to do a good deed. And I'll let him know where it came from. Now, this daylight saving time thing must be a fiat scam. Does Bitcoin fix this? Daylight savings I've never really understood, but I live pretty close to the equator, so we don't really get it. No comment on my behalf. Bank failures will get bought up by bigger banks and all funds covered. I can't see them causing people to lose money. Not your keys, not your fiat. Not your keys, not your cheese. Ladies and gentlemen, you're freaking awesome. Go out there, do something nice. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. If we vibe Bitcoin, it's just getting started. Actually, let's just show this pretty thing. I love it so much. It's just TikTok. Next block, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin just works. It's going to the moon. We are literally just getting started at whatever price, if we can get it up. We'll bring it up here. $72,296 before the halving. What world are we living in? The rest of the world is mad. Bitcoiners are in line with truth. This is a revolution. This is a peaceful war. And they're going to get louder. But people are already starting to flip. Financial Times, the White House is starting to accept that it's going to be here forever. Donald Trump. You know, people like Robert Kiyosaki, while they're not against it, in the slightest, he's a massive advocate, warning the traditional baby boomers to wake up to it. This marketing is going to happen from everywhere. BlackRock, Larry Fink defending us, mainstream TV, wowie. This is the greatest time in human history, in my opinion, if you're on a Bitcoin standard. Do you guys notice that shitcoins don't even bother a white paper anymore? Dario, shame I didn't get to meet you in Madeira. Come to Bitcoin Alive or next year. It's Bitcoin's not going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Plenty of time. 169 people in the chat. Number of the universe. Nikola Tesla 369. Anyway, this juggernaut cannot be stopped. Bye. Stack and chill. Be blessed. Peace.